students, welcome back to online class. Today we are going to discuss the continuation of the third unit, Pascal's law. Pascal's principle is named after Blaise Pascal, a French mathematician and physicist. So now let us see the statement of Pascal's law. The external pressure applied on an incompressible liquid is transmitted uniformly throughout the liquid. So the external pressure is applied on the liquid. It's an incompressible liquid. Now the pressure is uniformly transmitted throughout the liquid. So this is the statement of Pascal's law. Now let us see the demonstration of Pascal's law. So let us consider a glass vessel having a holes all over its surface. So this is a holes, okay? So holes. Now it is fitted with a piston. Now the glass vessel is filled with water. Now push the piston. So what happens here? The water rushes out of the holes in the vessel with the same pressure is needed because the force is applied on the piston. We have to press the piston. What happens here? We are applying the force. So the force acting per unit area is called as pressure. Already we know that is needed. So the force is applied on the piston. It exerts the pressure on water. This pressure is transmitted equally throughout the liquid in all directions. So this is the demonstration of Pascal's law. Okay. Now let us move on to hydraulic press. So Pascal's law became the basis for one of the important machines ever developed, the hydraulic press. So now let us see the construction of hydraulic press. It consists of two cylinders of different cross-sectional area. See the figure also. So this is we have to take as what? Two cross-sectional area. So this is the first one. The area it is denoted by the symbol is A1. The second cross-sectional area it is denoted by the symbol is A2. Okay. Now they are fitted with pistons of cross-sectional areas A and capital A. We have to consider in the smaller piston. The piston's cross-sectional area it is denoted by the symbol is A. In the second piston the cross-sectional area it is denoted by the symbol is capital A. Now the object to be lifted is placed over the piston of a large cross-sectional area. So which one is the large cross-sectional area? It is denoted by the symbol is capital A. So here only we have to keep a smaller object. That object should be what? Lifted, isn't it? So the force F1 is applied on the piston of small cross-sectional area A. So we have to consider as a small cross-sectional area smallest A. Here only we have to apply the force. It's nothing but the piston is pushed, is needed. So we have to apply the force. The force it is denoted by the symbol is F1. The force F1 is applied. Okay, on the piston of small cross-sectional area A. So the force is applied. So automatically it produces the pressure is needed. So the pressure P produced by small piston is transmitted equally to larger piston and a force F2 acts on A which is much larger than F1. So what happens here? The F1 force is applied with the help of the piston. Now it produces the pressure. According to Pascal's law, the pressure is uniformly transmitted. It is uniformly transmitted and it is transmitted equally to the larger piston. Which one is the larger piston? This is only the larger piston. The A only the larger piston is needed. So here the pressure is equally or uniformly transmitted. Now it is acted towards the which one? The larger piston. This is the larger piston A. This is the smaller piston area A. Okay. Now a force F2 acts on A which is much larger than F1 because here the pressure is acting on here. We can able to report it induces the what? The force also. It's now the force acting on the second piston it is denoted by the symbol is F2. I hope you can understand. Yes or no? So see here the piston is moving. Yes, see the piston A1 piston is moving, and automatically the A2 piston is moving in the upward. It is used to lift the heavy objects. Okay, now we can find out what is the pressure on the piston of small area. We can write. So the smaller area of the piston, which force is applied here? F1 force. It is acting on the small cross sectional area. It is denoted by the symbol is A1. So we can write, already we know the pressure formula, P is equal to F by A. Using this formula, so P is equal to F by A. In the first piston, the force it is denoted by the symbol is F1. Area it is denoted by the symbol is A1. So we can write the formula P is equal to F1 by A1. So let us consider as a first equation. Okay. Now applying Pascal's law, already we know the Pascal's law. No, the external pressure is applied on a liquid. It's transmitted uniformly throughout the liquid. Which one is transmitted? Pressure is needed. So applying Pascal's law, the pressure on a large piston of area A will be same as that on the small piston. So we can write the pressure is exerted on the second piston also. So what is the pressure formula? P is equal to F2 by A2. So both the pressures are equal only. So the same pressure only is exerted. Let us consider first and second equations. Okay. Now the same pressure only. So comparing the first and second equation, we can write F1 by A1 is equal to F2 by A2. We are going to find out what is the force only stated. So we can find out the second force, that is F2 is equal to A2 is cross multiplied. So we can write the formula F2 is equal to F1 into A1 by A2. I hope you can understand. Since the ratio of A2 by A1 is greater than 1, the force that acts on the larger piston is greater than the force F1 acting on the smaller piston. So what is the ratio we have to take as? A2 by A1 is greater than 1. Okay, is greater than 1. So the F2 force is greater than the F1 force. Using the formula only we can write. Is needed. I hope you can understand. It is an important 5-mark question, hydraulic press. Okay, now let us move on to the next topic, is density. Already in your lower classes you have studied, you know what is density. What is density? The density of a substance is nothing but what? Mass per a unit volume of the given substance. Yes, so now let us see the small activity. It's based on the density. Let us consider here two identical flasks and fill one flask with water to 250 centimeter cube mark and another with kerosene to the same 250 centimeter cube mark. Measure them in a balance. The flask filled with water will be heavier than one filled with kerosene. So what is the activity is given here? We have to take the two identical flasks. So the one flask is filled with water and second flask is filled with kerosene. And after that we have to measure them with the help of the balance. So what is the use of the balance? We can measure the mass of an object is stated. So after the measurement, the flask filled with water will be heavier than it filled with a kerosene. What is the reason? The answer is in what? Finding mass per unit volume of the kerosene in water in with respect to the flask only. So we can understand the density better. Let us consider the mass of the flask we have to consider is 80 gram. So what is the mass of the flask? We have to consider mass of the flask. Okay, I am going to write mass of the flask. We have to consider which gram? 80 gram we have to consider mass of the flask. Okay. Now the mass of the flask filled with water is 350 gram. So what is given? Mass of the flask with water is stated. So M into F plus W is equal to 330 gram. It's understood which one? So what about the mass of the water? The mass of the water is equal to 250 gram. The mass of the water is which one? 250 gram because the mass of the flask and water only we have to measure 330 gram. Already we have measured what is the mass of the flask is 80 gram. So 330 minus 80 equal to 250 gram. This is the mass of the water. I hope you can understand. Okay. Now the mass of the flask filled with kerosene is given to 80 gram. So what is given here? The same expression we have to using instead. The mass of the flask with kerosene is equal to 280 gram. So what about the mass of the kerosene? 280 minus 80 is equal to what will come? Mass of the kerosene is equal to 200 gram. So which one mass is heavier? Mass of the water is heavier, isn't it? Because the mass of the water is 250 gram, mass of the kerosene is 200 gram. So the kerosene is lesser mass, isn't it? So the density is also low only. I hope you can understand. So the mass of the water only is 250 gram. The kerosene is only 200 gram. So mass per unit volume of the kerosene is 200 gram per 250 centimeter cube because the volume of the flask is given 250 centimeter cube. Okay. So the densities of water and the kerosene we have to find out with the help of this formula only. I hope you can understand now. So what is the density formula? The density of a substance is mass per unit volume of the given substance. I hope you can understand. So what is the SI unit of density? The SI unit of density is kilogram per meter cube. So what is the formula? Rho is equal to m by v. This is the density symbol. So what is the unit of mass? Kilogram. What is the unit of volume? Meter cube. So what is the SI unit of density? Kilogram per meter cube. What is the unit? Kilogram per meter cube. Otherwise we can use cubic meter. Both are same only. Okay. So what is the symbol for density? The symbol for the density is rho. What is the pronunciation? RHO. Rho. Okay. I hope you can understand. Thank you.